Good evening, everyone. This is a conference meeting of the City Council of the City of Orange Township held at Cross and Crown Christian Church, 476 Thomas Boulevard, Orange, New Jersey, on Tuesday, June 17, 2025, at 7:01 p.m. Roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Present.
Councilmember Eason,
Here.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III,
Present.
Councilmember Ross,
Here.
Councilmember Summers Johnson is absent, I believe she will be late. And Council President Wilson.
Here.
Also present is Joyce Lee, the city clerk. President Hartley is, present via Zoom. LaQuanti Best, Deputy Business Administrator, Derek Brown, Fire Chief, Val Clemens, CFO, Graciela Montelis, Aaron Mizrahi, Deputy City Attorney, and Gracia R. Montilis is the City Attorney. Any representative from the Police Department? Marlon G. Towns, Legislative Research Officer, and Tricia Scipio, City Clerk's Office. Can we have a moment of silence?
Council President,
Councilwoman Eason.
can we dedicate this moment of silence to our Democrat political figures that were killed, assassinated? Can you hear me now? I gotta keep my head like this. Oh, okay. Let me move it this way. This better? Is this better? That were assassinated, and I think we all need prayers, some covering for this world is gone crazy. And today we don't know who is who. So let's just dedicate this moment of silence to us and our Democratic leaders who were assassinated for no apparent reason.
Thank you. Please be apprised, anyone wishing to discuss agenda or general items shall sign their name on the comment sign-up sheet and will be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes to interact with the council. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 et the Sunshine Law has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, published in the Orange Transcript on June 5th, 2025, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, and the city website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. There are matters of discussion, Council President?
It's gonna be, Mr. George Weedle from the Nishawane Group.
From where?
Nishawane,
That's right now.
Oh, don't we need to suspend the rules to add him as part of the agenda? I make a motion to suspend the rules to add him as part of the agenda for matters for discussion.
Second, Coley.
A motion to suspend the rules to add someone for matters of discussion by Councilwoman Easton, and second by Councilmember Coley. All in favor?
Aye.
Specifically, the Nishawane group are being added to the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you. Good evening, council. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm real happy to be here to present the Orange Urban Enterprise Zone 5-year plan.
sorry.
And your pronunciation of Nishawane was spot on.
Okay.
Quarter mile up the road, so where I grew up. My presentation will be relatively brief, high level. You all have the document before you, hopefully. So I'll begin with introductions very quickly. As I mentioned, my name is George Williams. I'm the founder and owner of the Nishawane Group. headquartered in Montclair, New Jersey, and we had the pleasure of preparing the 5-year plan that's before you this evening. I have also with me Mr. Steve Martinez in the background. I had to acknowledge him. Steve was the project lead on this and responsible for bringing the project in on schedule. He also put in his steps, meeting with the business owners in Orange, over 200 of those business owners, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. Also, I'd just like to thank all the staff of the municipality who really made this possible by opening doors for us, making information accessible to us, and keeping a schedule that was manageable. So I thank all of the staff here at the City of Orange. Also, the community, obviously, we met with stakeholders. We had an opportunity to meet with the business owners. As I mentioned, there were a number of engagements, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Your community was amazing. They invited us in, and they were extremely responsive to our questions. From a very high-level perspective, for the Orange Urban Enterprise Zone 5-year plan, I'll begin with the plan itself. As you can imagine, the purpose of the 5-year plan for the Urban Enterprise Zone is to create a roadmap for Orange's Urban Enterprise Zone for the next 5 years. It is also significant because it brings Orange into compliance with the Urban Enterprise Zone authority. As this body knows, the Urban Enterprise Zone program is designed to stimulate economy. Your Urban Enterprise Zone has been running successfully. The next 5 years, we will be even more successful. It provides incentives to shoppers by halving their sales tax, and for business owners as well, so that when they make purchases, they have steep discounts on their purchases in terms of taxes as well. In terms of the methodology for this plan, we began this plan the way we begin every planning process, and that's with community engagement. We think that's the only way to keep a plan successful, with lots of buy-in up front, and inevitably, we learn more from the community engagement than we do from any marketing or demographic analysis. So beginning with the engagement, we started with stakeholder engagements with groups such as the Chamber of Commerce, for example, followed by broader public meetings, in which there were 2. There were also 2 surveys that were published and we got good responses to. And perhaps most importantly was the door-to-door interactions that Steve and some other members of our team took with your business owners. And we think, we can say confidently, that's where we glean the richest feedback is in those door-to-door interactions with your business owners. Finally, there was research. We cross-referenced your master plan, redevelopment plans, and other planning documents that help undergird this study. And then there was an analysis of all that, in addition to demographic analysis and market analysis. The major takeaways from this were interesting. Beginning with parking and loading studies, the business community felt strongly that that would be one serious way to support businesses here in the urban enterprise. Program awareness at large, making the program of urban enterprise zones more accessible to patrons and businesses. One of the salient comments was that it should be a social media campaign around urban enterprise zone programs. In terms of the goals, there are 7 goals in the plan. You all have the plan with you, I would hope. But I'm going to focus on just 2 or 3 of those goals for the purpose of this evening. Goal number 1 is business retention and attraction. We took particular note of the community's interest in attracting a national name supermarket to serve as an anchor in your urban enterprise zone. Goal number 2, arts development, also very unique to Orange, given your culture of arts in the municipality. And the suggestion is to create an arts district that would take advantage of that culture here in Orange and attract ancillary businesses. Goal number 3, and this is teased out in our takeaways. Again, goal number 3 is parking and loading strategy, seen as a serious tool to support businesses here and businesses that are to be attracted. Those goals are really intended to give broad strokes for the general public as they read your plan. They are buttressed, however, by the action plan that follows, which is a much more detailed portion of your 5-year plan. And that priority action plan is really intended for the administrators of your urban enterprise zone program specifying the very particular important steps in implementing your plan over the course of 5 years. And when you look at your plan, you'll see that those recommendations are very robust. Finally, the plan recommends a couple of boundary revisions, particularly with the intent of concentrating businesses in zone districts that permit commercial activity. So to that end, one of the recommendations is to excise those portions of the urban enterprise zone which are land use zones dedicated to residential. The additions would include the Arts District, which came out again and again in our community engagement, and the extension of Park Avenue as part of the urban enterprise zone. I think that's particularly important given its synergy with Park Avenue in East Orange and creating more of a regional business attraction. So again, very high level overview of the 5-year plan. Specifically, the 5-year plan will satisfy the legislative requirement of Orange so that your program can continue. More importantly, it's intended to be a daily reference for the administrators of your urban enterprise zone program. We see them using this plan weekly, if not daily, as they go about the administration of your zone. Again, my presentation very high level, but when you look at the report, I hope you will agree with me that it is replete with data, analyses, and recommendations, again, all to make your urban enterprise zone successful. In terms of the next steps, and I'll conclude here, if the council approves this 5-year plan, the next step would be a mandatory 30-day public comment period, and then the plan would go to the Urban Enterprise Zone Authority for approval. Once accepted and approved by the authority, Orange will be able to continue with their Urban Enterprise Zone program, which again is a major economic development tool. With that, I'll end, and I'll thank the council for allowing us to present the overview today, and certainly either Stephen and I can answer any questions you may have.
Councilman, would you have any questions? So I do. So what I take from this is what someone did maybe 5 years ago to get us into the plan now. So all what we're doing now is making sure that we are going to be in this plan for 5 more years, right?
So the Orange Urban Enterprise Zone began further back than that,
Okay.
like considerably further back, because I started the Urban Enterprise Zone in East Orange, and you guys helped me get started. It was some 20 years ago.
Okay.
But this is now mandated by the New Jersey legislation so that you continue the program 5 years hence.
Okay. Anyone else? Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
My question is, well, first of all, I love what I heard so far. I came in towards the latter end, my apologies. But I'm excited about this because I am a business owner. However, I'm on the Scotland Road end, but it's great to hear that you guys have thought about Park Avenue. In regards to this 5-year plan, would there be opportunities to create any SIDs or bids within our zones?
The answer is yes, and that is something the staff will work through to test the receptiveness of businesses. 'Cause as you know, the SIDs are also an important economic development tool, but often require buy-in from the businesses. And so we want to get the Urban Enterprise Zone program continuing to run and then investigate whether there's an appetite for bids, business improvement districts or special improvement districts here in Orange. I would argue that's something that Orange should certainly pursue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else? You want to give a closing statement?
I'll be brief. Thank you again. It's really a pleasure for us to be involved in this process. I come from a long background of economic development, love Orange, and I'm hoping that this goes very successfully for all of you. So thank you.
Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Council members, are there any resolutions or ordinances on tonight's agenda that you wish to discuss at this time?
Yes, 297 and 299, they just could explain those in a little bit greater detail for me.
Council President?
Councilwoman, I think Councilman Coley.
Yeah, but I wanted to say that can, our business administrator here, Russ? Because he was looking that up earlier, so maybe he might want to explain that.
Okay. BA Chris, 297.
So, okay, 297 is a contract for Lewis Consulting Group. They did an initial round of testing in Colgate Park, some soil borings. This contract authorizes them to do some additional investigative work with regard to the results of those soil borings.
My question is, isn't that the responsibility of the engineer when they do the site work?
Now, this is a special requirement because some of the funds that are being used to redo the park are Green Acres funds. So we have to do a separate environmental analysis of soil.
And that's covered by, you said by this, who's paying for that?
I don't
BA
think,
Chris, Councilman Coley said, who's paying for that?
We are,
Okay.
and it's potentially, I have to check, but it may be reimbursable under the grant.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And 299, is, you want to just kind of explain this a little bit?
So 299,
Yes.
yeah, that's for the Lawrence.
so there's a lawsuit involving multiple defendants within the police department. Each of the defendants is currently represented by different counsel. The Hatfield and Schwartz group is representing the city in the matter. And this would be an extension of their contract for the year 2025.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Council President,
Councilman Ross?
291. 291 is a resolution, for the tax collector to prepare and mail estimated tax bills. How are these tax bills being estimated?
I'll defer to the CFO.
Okay.
So the statutory ways to calculate estimated tax bills, either using a percentage from 95% of prior year's tax bill for the county, the board of education, and the municipal levy, up to 105% of the prior year levy. So the only actual levy we have so far is in the municipal, the board of education levy, the county hasn't been certified yet, and the municipal hasn't been certified yet. So once the adopted one is ready, we'll send out actual tax bills, but until that's ready, we send out estimated tax bills. So is it mandatory to send out estimated tax bill? The actual tax bill is not ready yet. Okay.
Anyone else?
Council President,
Councilwoman?
20-2025. I think this is on second reading, but we took action on that last other meeting, so that should not be, should not have to postpone it to it. Am I correct?
I think so. She said 2025, we took action on. Clerk?
I didn't get a chance to go and look, to see.
I think our business administrator can answer that one.
So should we?
See your phone?
Bid Hartwhite,
20-2025.
20-25, we voted on last session, we think.
That's my understanding.
Mhm. It wasn't on the second. You have a minute? We don't have it. Councilwoman Easton, we don't look for the minutes. We don't look for the minutes.
You wanna come back to it then?
Come back to
I
it.
think
Yes,
she
ma'am.
does, so.
Thank you.
And 37/2025 was 477 Hillside. When I went through my package, it didn't have the engineer report, but there is one there that has the engineer report. Did everybody get that one today?
Yeah,
37/2020.
but it's also missing the, homeowner's, report, because the engineer said that there's a driveway on that property. So we requested that we get the homeowner's report saying why this tenant cannot park in the parking lot, in the driveway. And that's not attached.
So we need to postpone it too, because it's on first reading.
You want to pass it on first reading and then just come back to it, just so he doesn't slow the process up? Whatever the council wants to do, that's fine with me. That's all was missing, is the report from the homeowner. When it's passed on first reading, give her an opportunity to, get that document, bring it back. Then she doesn't get it, then just.
Should it come from the owner or should it come from my engineer?
Well,
The owner?
it comes from the homeowner. I mean, the engineer just says whether or not there's a driveway or not, okay? But the engineer can also, put in his report why the tenant cannot park in the driveway. But we have a report from either one.
I'm good.
Okay. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Council President, through you to the business administrator, I had a question regarding 300, resolution 300-2025. So it says this is a contract to,
Councilwoman Hilbert? I was told that 300/2025 is gonna be pulled.
it's gonna be pulled?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Is there anything else? So 300/2025 is gonna be pulled. 32/2025 will be voted upon for the first meeting in July. Wait, slow down.
What was the last one?
32/2025 will be voted upon the first meeting in July.
So it's gonna stay postponed?
Yes, they postponed. 300 is pulled by the administration.
Council President,
DA Hartwell.
one alternative to pulling 300 is to do an amendment on the floor to remove the reference to parking meters and make it parking stations. And then in the now whereas clause, change the name IPS to TAPSCO. But that's whatever the council's will is. I can pull it and bring it back in July, or we could do the amendments on the floor.
Can we poll the council?
Councilmember Cole? You want to pull it or do the amendments on the floor?
If you can do the amendments on the floor and it's not a problem, I can live with that.
Councilmember Easton?
I'm fine with that.
Councilmember Hooper?
I'm okay.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Pull it.
Pull it. Councilmember Montague the third?
Exactly.
Pull it. And Council President,
Amendment on the floor.
so the council approved that if we do the amendment on the floor.
DA Hartwell, would you go over those amendments again, please?
Sure. Let me just pull it up real quick. In the title of the ordinance and title of the resolution, in the third line, it says purchase of parking meters. That should say purchase of parking stations. In the third whereas clause, the same change. In the second line, parking meters to parking stations. And in the now therefore be it resolved paragraph in the second line, an agreement with TAPCO, not IPS.
What was that last amendment?
Now therefore be it resolved, the
Yes.
second line, you're gonna, exchange take out IPS and put in TAPCO.
Oh, I have TAPCO.
Oh.
Okay, thank you.
Council President,
Councilman Ross?
these parking stations, where are they gonna be located?
They're located in the Crane Street garage.
Crane Street Garage?
Yes.
And
Yes, they're parking payment stations.
I didn't hear what he said.
He said they're parking payment stations.
Okay. How many?
How many being?
I believe there's two.
How many entrances is it to that, garage?
I can't hear.
He
How
asked
many
how many
entrances?
entrances into the garage.
There's one entrance and one exit. It's into the New Jersey Transit parking lot at the station.
So why do we need
For our
two
level of the
stations?
garage.
I'm just curious, why two stations if there's only one way in and one way out?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council President?
CFO Clements?
I'm just go further. Council Ross, you asked me if estimated tax bills are mandatory.
Yes.
I'm sorry, they're not mandatory. This is the estimated tax bills are used for the final tax rates are not yet known because budgets haven't been finalized and certified. They're not mandatory, but rather a best practice, taken at the discretion of the municipality governing body, via resolution.
Well, if they're not mandatory, I think it could be very confusing to the residents that we're getting a tax bill that's estimated, and it's also costing the city money to send out these tax bills, and then we gotta get another one that has the real numbers on there. So I don't see the need for it if it's not mandatory.
The need for it is for cash flow purposes. We don't spend the bill, the third quarter receipts don't come in, we'll be at a cash flow deficit. We won't have a essential cash flow to pay for services like garbage, removal, bureau, et cetera. This is something that we've done on pretty much an annual basis. Aside from last year, we got to the budget.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Council President,
Councilman Hilbert?
I have further questions for the business administrator regarding 300-2025. Councilman Ross, he touched on a couple of points I was going to ask, but just to shine a little more light on it, would these parking meters and these parking spaces also be under the responsibilities of the parking authority?
So again, no meters in the garage, just parking stations.
Stations.
And assuming that the parking authority goes forward, this would be an asset that the city might lease for them, yes.
Okay, and could you just repeat again how many spaces would be available?
She'd like to know how many stations will be available.
There are two parking stations, two payment stations.
So, okay, I think I'm misinterpreting. So it's two parking stations for people to pay, but all of those parking spaces in the garage area there, they will have numbers to correlate with the payment system.
Yes, 145 of them.
How many? 45?
145.
145. Okay, that was the number I was trying to get at. I'm sorry if I wasn't direct. Thank you. All right, so 145. I also have a question regarding Resolution 305, 2025. A resolution for censure for the West Ward council member. I object to this resolution. I believe that it should not be on the agenda because the the language and the description that was put forth in this resolution is inaccurate and it's biased. So I object to this being here. I believe that if this is what the council wants to put forth, it needs to be accurate. And yeah, that's how I feel about that.
City Attorney Monty, Mr. Chairman.
And well of the body, certainly would be time for, commentary at the time of the resolution to be considered. This would not be time for that, really have, to be rated. The will of the body can go on, can go forward with the general brigade, if it chooses to go on this resolution.
So my statement, Attorney Martinez, is that what I'm saying is it's inaccurate. So you're voting on a resolution that's inaccurate and you're putting something on record that's inaccurate. So either it could be amended so that it speaks truth, or it can be pulled altogether.
So at the time of consideration, to the extent that you feel that amendments are appropriate, you feel to bring them up at that time. But the body can go forward with whichever way it decides to go on a proposed resolution.
Council President and,
Councilman Rose.
is this the proper time to ask Councilwoman, Hilbert, what is inaccurate about this, resolution?
It's the description that's in the resolution. Basically the recollection of everything that played out is inaccurate. It's also very biased. It's only speaking to one council member when there was more than one involved. I also feel that because when I got out of my seat, it was already in recess and there were other people out of their seat. He asked me a question. Yeah. Yeah, he just asked me a question. Yeah.
Councilman
Yeah.
Ross?
Yeah.
So at the appropriate, when the resolution is being considered, at that time, any discussion that, needs to be had can be had at that time. Any objections that need to be raised can be raised at that time. Any questions that need to be asked and answered can be done at that time.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
That's all I had.
Yeah, I have another question.
Councilman Ross.
Council President, there's a lot of, bond issues on this agenda tonight. And, instead of going over each and every one of them, I just have a couple of general questions that will satisfy me for all of them. The first one, and I guess the CFO can answer these questions, is what is our bond rating as of today? Triple B plus. And has it changed recently? And with the adoption of these ordinances, will it change?
No, that was it.
But it won't change the rating. Why wasn't these bond ordinances included in the financial report? The pilot agreement.
That's,
For Chris.
Chris, can you answer that?
so he asked, why were these, bonds included in the financial reports?
Which financial report?
The pilot agreement.
The pilots, the agreements, I'm sorry.
They were referenced in the financial agreements.
So,
And you have to have a separate bond ordinance in order to authorize them.
okay. And could you give us, the council and folks here, what is the need for these bonds?
The nature?
The need.
The need,
So there are two purposes. The first has to do with the projects that are associated with or in walking distance to the Highland Avenue train station. The second has to do with the projects that are within walking distance to the Orange train station. And the proceeds will be used to enhance and connect those buildings to the train stations through streetscaping, signscaping, landscaping, and hardscaping.
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Anything else?
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Summers Johnson.
Second, Ross.
Motion to adjourn by Councilmember Lawrence Johnson, second by Councilmember Ross. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Meeting adjourned at 7:36 PM. This is a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Orange Township held at Cross and Crown Christian Church, 476 Thomas Boulevard, Orange, New Jersey, on Tuesday, June 17, 2025, following the conference meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'm gonna ask that Councilman Montague read us the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Present.
Councilmember Easton,
Here.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Present.
Councilmember Montague III,
Present.
Councilmember Ross,
Here.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Here.
and Council President Wu.
Here.
Also present is Joyce Lanier, the city clerk, Chris M. Hartwick, the business administrator via Zoom, LaQuanta T. Best, deputy business administrator, Derek Brown, the fire chief, Niall Clement, CFO, Racia R. Montillis, city attorney, Aaron Mizrahi, deputy city attorney, Marlon G. Towns, legislative research officer, and Tricia Scipio, city clerk's office. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 @sec, the Sunshine Law, has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, published in the Orange Record Transcript on June 5th, 2025, posted on the bulletin board at City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. There are no minutes to approve. There are no reports. There are no open reports, council reports.
No council.
No council reports. There's no communication and petitions. Citizen comments. Members of the public wishing to address the council may do so during this portion of the meeting. Speakers must sign their name on the comment sign-up sheet and approach the microphone when called upon. To allow maximum public involvement, each speaker is permitted one 5-minute period to interact with the council and must provide his or her name and street address prior to beginning any remarks. Visual aids are not permitted. Speakers are reminded to be courteous and mindful of other individuals. Each person has the right to speak on any subject, but is responsible for abuse of that right. The city bears no liability for any comments made by the public and maintains discretion to remove any person engaging in obscene or disruptive conduct. The council will consider all comments and questions and will respond if and when appropriate, which may or may not be during this meeting.
Aisha Samuel.
Good evening, 401 Highland Terrace. I am a veteran of the United States Army. In order to become a soldier, you have to have an allegiance in which you state that you will fight to defend the U.S. Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Reading tonight's agenda, that you guys are censoring Quantavia Hilbert is angering. Angering because she's literally the only one out of all of you who actually listens and does what we ask her to do when it comes to voting. Literally, she's the only one who votes the way we ask her to vote. I have come here many times and told you guys that I need permit parking because people are still getting towed. And then I see on there that there's permit parking for one individual. Where did that come from? Because I've been waiting for it for 7 years. But I know you're not gonna answer me, because y'all don't answer questions. Y'all are trying to censure and get rid of her position for a duly elected official. It pisses me off. All enemies, domestic enemies. We even asked you to vote about trash cans, and y'all didn't even vote about the trash cans. Something very simple y'all can't even do. You all should be ashamed of yourselves. I wonder how you even sleep at night. Because y'all don't listen to nobody. Y'all only listen to the mayor, who doesn't attend these meetings unless he has something to do for it. Unless it has something to do with him, mainly pilots. Because that's the only reason why he shows up, because he wants y'all to vote for pilots. After we all asked you guys to not vote any more pilots. Because we can't afford pilots. We can barely afford the taxes. But y'all keep raising them. Because it doesn't affect y'all the way it affects us. Shame. That's how all of you should feel. Shame. I'm done.
Ridge Street Block Association. Ridge Street Block Association.
Good evening, Ridge Street Block Association. Can you hear me?
No.
No. Ridge Street Block Association. So there's a few things that I'd like
Excuse
to.
me, sir. I need to get your name and your address, please.
My name is Timothy Sheridan. I live on Ridge Street. So. we
I
have a
need your
problem.
address, sir.
I'm not giving you my address.
You can't speak.
If I felt trusted here, I would give you my address, and you're not feel trusted.
Can we stop this right now?
Hello?
Take it.
So
Sir,
excuse me, Attorney Monte. Excuse me. Like, we get ready to stop this like right now. We gonna stop it. Like, Miss Samuel got up and spoke, she was allowed to speak, right? I'm sorry,
Timothy,
is gonna speak, he should be allowed to speak. We can't hear him with all your mumbling going on. And this meeting is not going to be held that way. We are not going to have the shouting out. We are not going to have that. This is a business meeting for the city of Orange Township. Each and every one that's on this agenda is allowed to come up to the mic and speak about whatever they want to speak about.
Council President,
Councilman Coley?
the rule is to give your name and your address.
Yes,
Your full address.
yes.
And he hasn't provided it.
Sir, we're asking that you state your name and address, please, in order to speak in accordance with our ordinance. We ask that you please state your name and address in order to speak in accordance with our ordinance.
Sheridan, 51 Ridge Street.
Thank you, sir.
Okay? We ready?
What was the address?
Okay. So there's a few things that I'd like to speak about. I'd like to speak about the development project on our block that none of us were notified about. and they're constantly working on Sundays. We would talk to Ms. Eason at our meeting in our neighborhood, and we were promised that enforcement would happen. It has not. They were there again. I looked it up. It says $500 per incident. There's at least a dozen incidents. I'd like to know how many times that company has actually been fined. I also don't understand why that when in the middle of the week and they're working until 8 or 9 o'clock at night and it's allowed, we have to call the police to get them to stop. I went down as a gentleman and asked them to stop. The guy made like he didn't understand English and made me stand in front of his mini bulldozer and threatened to call the police or he wasn't going to stop. We called the police and then there was an interaction back and forth to get them to finally stop. I guess they started a project that they couldn't finish before clocking out. So they just continued to do their project. If you can't finish the project by the time it ends for the day, why would you start it? We're really tired of the garbage, the trucks. We're constantly asked to back down our own street because trucks are sitting in the middle of the street all the time. They're eating their lunch and throwing all their garbage on the street in front of our houses, and no one picks it up. Yesterday, a big branch was knocked off one of the trees right across from the site. They left it hanging. Does a kid have to walk by and get his eye cut out or something before they actually do something properly? I don't understand. We were promised enforcement. There is no enforcement. You can't even get a garbage can on the corner. Nothing happens. They do what they want. They run check over our block and it's okay. They're literally bringing huge trucks down the street. We do street cleaning. The residents get tickets. The trucks for the gentlemen who work there, and I use that term loosely, never get tickets. But I was told that would be enforced. Maybe that's changed. All I see is a lot of trucks with commercial license plates on it parked past 7 o'clock at night. When people come home and want to park in front of their house or near their house, they shouldn't have to park 3 blocks away because there's commercial trucks on the street. We have people, women in our neighborhood, walking down the block, trying to find a spot, walking 3 and 4 blocks away because this is all about enforcement. And I don't understand why we can't enforce our own rules. But yet we can censure somebody for literally speaking her mind and doing her job. And I looked at a video. She did not get up. There were other people getting up before she did, and I heard that was one of the complaints. Really? I saw the video. Shame on you.
Excuse me, we're not doing it. So according to Robert's rules, that's my first warning to whomever was talking. The next time, I'm gonna ask the police officer to remove you. And you can look that up in Robert's Rules of Order. I'm sorry, sir.
No, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shame on you.
Sir, who did you speak to at the city regarding enforcement? Did you talk to?
Council President,
Yeah.
can I respond?
The people that were at Miss Easton's meeting
Yeah.
and
Timothy, I was the one that legislated that they do not work on Sunday. But let me be very clear. We cannot, as council, be in every place every minute and see things. The one thing I ask all of you to do, when you see that happening, call the police to have them enforce. Let me finish. If they don't come out and write a ticket and enforce that, then you call me. Because I have had the police over there every day when you were complaining about the trucks. The cops were sitting at the corner of Ridge and Main and at the corner of White and Ridge to survey and look at what was happening on Ridge Street, trying to enforce everything that you guys requested. And they have been writing tickets and doing that. They've also ticketed the trucks that are parking over there, and I've talked to the project manager. His answer was the trucks are not his and they belong to public service or someone else. So the police have ticketed everybody over there. But in order for it to become a consistent thing, you got to call them every day so they get tickets. I know you don't want to do that, but I can't be over there to watch what goes on. I can have the police enforce it. That's why I legislated that they cannot work on Sunday. If you have been reading Local Talk, the other Sunday, I called the cops myself because somebody was doing something illegal on Sunday. And I got a big write-up on on Real Talk, because people, I'm not arguing with anybody. That's why we have police officers. When I say you can't do something on a Sunday and you want to get nasty, then the next is to call the police and let them enforce the law. That's what they were trying to do. So when you say enforce the law, then you have residents complaining, oh, I didn't know any better. I didn't read the legislation. And then you get all of that backlash. But the police are trying to do their job. They really are. And I can attest to that because I call them every day. So I'm saying, well, I'm going to ask the captain, and we have an officer here. We will take that back tomorrow and make sure they heat it up again on Rear Street and see if we can get you everything you asked for. Now, as far as the trucks coming in, that development has to get finished. And they've been curtailing how many trucks they let down there and keeping the traffic open so everybody can park. But first, let me say this. Welcome to the North Ward. I want to welcome everybody to the North Ward. It's very rare you all come over here, but this is the North Ward. And thank you for coming out tonight. But we are doing everything humanly possible to make it as easy on you guys as
Sir, your comment time is, sir, have a seat, please. Have a seat, please. Your comment time is over.
But I will make sure
The city attorney is asking you to have a seat,
I
sir.
will make sure the police start over there in the morning. And
Have a seat, sir.
we will have a conversation. Timothy, you have my number. You can call me anytime. You can call me anytime. I do answer my phone.
Valora Howe. Valora Howe.
Valora, can you hear me? Valora Howell, 483 Mountain View Avenue. I haven't been to a city council meeting in maybe a couple of months. It's very depressing and very hurtful. I'm really appalled at the fact that Quantavia is being censored. It's almost like this is like a totalitarian state in which we are being oppressed as a group of citizens. You have police, you have the attorneys. That is fascism. This reminds me of Donald Trump, what he's doing to the American citizens or to the Democrats. And you guys are the Republicans, because that's what you act like. It's unfair to have her name on this resolution. There are other city council people who've done far worse. They've been in the newspapers. They've done crimes. And I watched the video. I did not attend the city council meeting, but what I saw was her trying to use a microphone. Now, I know that there's been a brouhaha brewing between the city council, Jamie and Quantavia for some time. They had a little battle on Facebook. She was talking about her husband. I actually saw and read that statements that she made about her husband. So it's very one-sided, and you can see the town is against this. So, you know, what, you're going to try to impeach her? Is that what you're trying to do? But yet you would not acknowledge or recall that one of our Tyrone, can't remember his last name, Tarver. This is a democracy, regardless whether you have an autocratic mayor or not. You are here for the people.
The last time I saw the Orange television, someone said, "We are here for the city." No, you're here for the people of Orange. We elected you. You have a responsibility to the citizens of Orange, New Jersey. I will be 70 years old next month. I have lived here for almost 40 years. I am disgraced by your behavior. I really look up to Quantavia. She's a model citizen. I also looked up to her husband. I love their relationship as what we call black love. I love how he supports her, how he supports his mother, and how he supports this community. There was another citizen who was homeless, who was losing her apartment. Maggie, I think was her name. Quantavia and her husband helped her move, helped her unpack her clothes, gave her money. These are really good people. And Orange is full of good people. And some of you council people are good people. You're not bad people, but you make the wrong decisions, and it really hurts us. And we really would like for you to listen and use your hearts. And forget about all this being dedicated to one person. That's a dictatorship. That is not a democracy. Thank you.
Thank you. Alice Lane.
Good evening, council members, aides, and especially citizens. I'm so happy to see so many of you here tonight. It makes me feel good. The young lady, my name is Alice Lang. I live at 400 Oakwood Avenue, apartment 4Q, and I am the president of the Tenant Association that gets very little support. I wanted to comment when you said they remind you of Republicans. That was the first statement I made at my first council meeting that I came to here in Orange. And I have been going to council meetings every town I've lived in since 1978. And my 38-year-old went with me and has addressed council on behavior. I introduced myself to Quantavia because I only had a picture when she was running for office. And I had went to vote in my district, and representatives was outside telling people not to vote for her. And they were doing it inside. And I've also had the same thing happen to me when I ran for district leader. People sitting at the table at the board and another candidate coming up, standing next to me and telling someone what to say, that write-ins are illegal, don't vote for me. And they did it to a number of people that came in. I've sat here at 2 meetings, really confused because I feel like the councilwoman has been disrespected. It seems like when she's speaking after the council meeting and you go around, that there's an effort to shut her down before she finished commenting. I don't like it as a woman. I don't like it as a citizen. I don't like it as a mother. And I would appreciate if you remove censoring her, because you can't censor one person. And I feel like with the behavior that I've witnessed at a couple of meetings towards her, that you all should be censored. The other thing I wanted to speak about is I have been calling the police station trying to find out who the community person is. I think I've spoken on that other times I was here, because I'm entitled to have someone at my council meetings to keep order. And a lot of the citizens don't want to hear back and forth and arguing, and I'm not that kind of person in public. I could write real good, I may write about you. which I'm about to do. And the other thing, I want an answer to that because I asked that question before. Who is our community person? I called the police station last week. A detective told me when I find out, let him know.
Council
Because he would
President,
like to know.
it's Sergeant Edie, E-A-D-D-Y. E-A-D-D-Y.
Okay. And another thing, let's see. I'm 80 now, but when I was around 25, I went to see the play Hair on Broadway. I was fortunate to see it there and in London. And there's an excellent performance. I believe it's from the 12th. I went to see it Sunday, and I took one of our college students from church with me. I think the last day is the 29th. It's at the Vanguard at 180, I believe, Bloomfield Avenue, the block before you get to Crockett's. And I wish you would support them because I had a nephew that belonged to their mentoring program. And it was a one-on-one mentoring by someone acting on Broadway with that young person. It goes up to the age of 24. I believe it's 12 to 24. It's an excellent program. And it's not just mentoring you leaving a kid. They have the relationship bonding with the family. So it's a nonprofit. I hope you'll go see the play and support it because I enjoyed it just as much as I did in my 20s. And make a contribution if you don't go to Vanguard. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lane. Alicia Rodriguez.
487 Mountain View Ave. Question is, what is the reason for the lawsuit against Orange Police? Ordinance 299/2025.
Ma'am, please state your name.
Alicia
She did.
Rodriguez.
I didn't hear it.
Council President.
It's something about the
Okay, can you hear me now?
Point of order.
Councilwoman East.
Can we just ask, we're competing with the air, could they talk into the mic so we can hear them on this side, please?
You're sitting right here.
I'm sorry, what are you asking me to do?
Talk into the mic so we can hear you on this side.
Can you hear me?
Or speak a little, use your outside voice.
Can't hear on this side.
Can't I? Okay, how about now?
Okay, yeah, right.
Can we reset the time, please? Okay. No, but she was talking during the time.
I stopped it before you started speaking, and you see it stop, so I'm sorry back now.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay. So honestly, coming here makes me very sad and frustrated every time. Last week, Montilus got up after some commotion and addressed the citizens as if we were the ones who had asked or said the wrong things. In the last 4 meetings, every last argument or smart remarks were always made by the council first, and multiple points of orders were called because of them, not us. And it wasn't until the last meeting that the break that was called by the president was due to a back and forth between council, well, actually between constituent and the lawyer. The back and forth was initiated by Ms. Rahi, but yet again, it's the citizens that are being made out to be the problem. The other lawyer, Montilus, got up and said at the end, "You will respect the council," and walks away. Ms. Rahi showed aggression first. You watch each other engage in the same behavior and then expect citizens not to be upset at him demonizing us when Mazarahi initiated a commotion first. There were dozens of people that were here to witnesses, so why do you respond so defensive every time? I believe you should be empathetic to our concerns, proud that you serve people who just want the best for Orange and will ask the hard and uncomfortable questions instead of feeling attacked and frustrated. If our questions are misguided, educate us and move on. These questions should be your questions, and if you don't know the answers, then that means you may have some work to do. I invest a lot of my personal time learning and attending these meetings because I'm telling you that your decisions have directly impacted me negatively. It has made my living situation in Orange very difficult. I don't want someone serving Orange who isn't concerned about the things the community is. You're supposed to be a team. You don't act like it. The council demands respect and lacks restraints themselves. I do rewatch meetings and I attend almost every single meeting. We are not attacking you. We are passionate about real change. We should be allowed to ask about these questions because we don't know the answers, and you should have the answers, especially if it's the same questions coming up every meeting. Residents should be able to ask you questions and get answers. And if you don't know, you don't know. And next meeting, you can bring it up and give them the answers. Why? Because that's what leaders do. This was not one of those things I wanted to talk about today, but here we are. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the ordinance to censor Quantavia. I'll tell you right now, I don't know any of you in any way outside of this meetings, including Quantavia. But what can I tell you? Is that I've been coming to every meeting for almost the whole year, and every time she has something to say or questions that clearly make some of you uncomfortable, it shows in your responses that you are agitated. Some members of the council, including lawyers, constantly try to silence her, calling point of order when she goes over her time, or if she points out that the responses given to her don't answer the questions she's asked. It's a problem. You will run up her time, telling her to move on, and then tell her time is up. Not one member has been stopped more times than her after her time is up. President Bluhan has gone over her time, not one, but multiple times. No one has said anything. She has also on multiple occasions made sly comments, wrongfully accused Quantavia of starting arguments, which led to frustration and confusion. We witnessed this in meetings. There's no room for you to tell me I'm not telling the truth. There are examples of poor behavior and comments like, here we go, having conversations with other council members while other members are speaking on multiple occasions that I've seen other council members engage in. That is a form of disrespect. Ms. Johnson has made multiple remarks on multiple occasions that the residents have heard, remarks at times that she does not have the floor on. The example, the last meeting the mayor attended, which was the meeting that led to the May 20 incident, in which you had nothing to do with the issue. It was President Bluhan who misunderstood, and you made comments to the person sitting next to you about the situation. She engaged in a back and forth, and both of you did not back down on the day of May 20th. Everyone is a human, and seeing multiple instances of negative behavior towards her month after month by multiple people sitting in front of me today has to be a lot to deal with. And let me be clear, I have not seen you guys apply this much pressure or negative remarks or silent tactics to any other person other than residents in Quantavia. Why isn't the ordinance to censor for the whole council sitting in front of me, as all of you have exhibited a behavior that is not in any means okay? It's a little bit more, but I'm not gonna have the time. Mazarahi, the yelling match and his behavior last week toward another person, what are we doing in regards to that? Because if not, that was actually on time. It wasn't when the break was already done. So, I mean, I can't finish, but that kind of sums up.
Gerald Murphy. Gerald
Are you
Murphy.
gonna answer any of the questions?
No question.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Gerald Murphy, 27 South Harrison Street, Orange, New Jersey. So I'm going to pick up where the young lady left off about Aaron. He's very disrespectful. He's very disrespectful to the women here. You guys are trying to do something to a woman that's a councilwoman here, which I don't think is right. We had a city clerk here in Orange, Dwight Mitchell. He did more whatever to anybody, but nobody never made a resolution towards him. So making a resolution towards Quantavia, you know, we all look alike. We got to get along. You know, I don't think that's right for y'all to put something up. Y'all need to go behind doors and talk about whatever the problem is. Us as being who we are, African Americans, we want to take hate to the grave. But when the Italians run against each other the next day, they breaking bread to see how they can make their community better. We not trying to do that. We trying to hurt one another. That's what I have to say. I had a lot of other things to say, but he wants to know, what do? I get news and bring news to try to help the community. I never get my hand caught in the cookie jar like a lot of other people do, because I ain't about that. You understand, Aaron? That's all I'm gonna say right now. And we got 140 days to Jack Cittarilli become our next governor.
Darnell Gibbs, 123 Ferry Lane, Belleville, New
What
Jersey. 13 Ferry Lane, Belleville, New Jersey. Okay, so I was away for about maybe 2 months roughly for some military service. I came back and a lot of people was texting me, was like, hey, did you hear this? Did you hear this? I said, no, I didn't. Let me go look it up. 'Cause I'm so excited to be back home, right? Got 16 years in the military. I'm definitely going to hit that 20-year mark, and I can't wait to do it. I was going to speak about something else, but I changed my mind because it sort of bothered me after I hear Aisha say something about it, right? May 20th, whatever happened, cool, I get it. Feel some type of way about it, I absolutely accept it. But the fact that you guys were able to come up with a resolution in less than 30 days was freaking mind-blowing to me. The reason why I say it was mind-blowing to me is because, in fact, when I came back from my last employment, I kept asking different questions. Hey, can we do this? Hey, can we do this? I was highly upset with the ordinance as it's written, where it allows the developer to come and build into our town with a freaking 0.8 parking spaces. I kept asking you guys over and over, where can I buy 0.8 of a car? No one had an answer. That was you guys' opportunity to say, you know what? Let's write an ordinance that says, make it a whole car. But you chose not to. But we had time to write an ordinance against one council member. Resolutions should not be used as a form of intimidation or bullying. It shouldn't be used that way. Right? Or read something. I mean, you guys code of conduct. This applies to everybody, right? It says, whereas all officials, employees, both elected and appointed of the city of Orange, occupy positions of the public trust and must discharge their duties in the sole interests of the public for whom they act or to whom they are accountable, and whereas the public judges its government by the manner in which such public officials and employees conduct themselves, and whereas the public has a right to expect every such official employee to act in a manner that will enhance and promote public confidence and respect for the government. Multiple people say the same thing about a couple of people, right? I'm going to talk about my friend, the town attorney. He once said a smart remark under his breath. I didn't say anything. Most of the time, the gentleman is here while all you guys are speaking, he's on his phone. That's not really showing a lot of confidence that you're really caring about what we're saying. If your conversation with your phone is so important, get up, excuse yourself. Sometimes your demeanor comes off the wrong way. You sit there and act like you don't want to be here. If you don't want to be here, send one of your assistants, no problem. No one's going to be angry. At least someone's here to answer the question. But since you guys have so much time on your hands to write a resolution, I did some of the work for you guys for something I've been asking for since you guys keep allowing these freaking pilot programs on. 22-year freaking tax abatement y'all about to vote on. Multiple times over and over, I kept asking, hey, what is the benefit to the town? I kept saying, you guys kept telling me, hey, we'll print it out, we'll bring it to the meeting. I said, okay, cool, no problem. I've yet to get it. I ask all the time. I don't even expect it anymore. But since I know you guys have plenty of time to write resolutions, I made this process a little simpler for you guys. The Township of Roselle Park, I mean, you're familiar with it. Council member came up with a resolution called Community Benefits Agreement in connection with Financial Source Agreement for the pilot programs. Holy sh! Right? And this resolution, I'm just going to read one section because I've been asking for it for freaking months. It says, the CBA may include but shall not be limited to contributions to the local schools or infrastructure, local hiring, job training, apprenticeship opportunities, the provision of affordable housing, above minimum thresholds, streetscape, recreational and environmental improvements, subsidized residential units. I apologize for taking up you guys' time.
Lynn Osborne. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening, council, administration, and the public. My name is Lynn Ogborn. I live at 38 Ridge Street. I am too a member of the Ridge Street Block Association. So I wanted to piggyback on one of the residents we talked about earlier was regarding the construction site on Ridge Street. We've been calling the police. We've been doing tag teams. So each house, each day gets to call the police because we don't want to be the same people calling them every day. So we did speak with Councilwoman Tensi regarding the situation, and the latest incident what happened with us was that we called the police because it's been very frustrating that our streets is so dirty. It's filthy, and when these construction people leave the sites, they leave their lunch, they leave their dirt, they leave whatever they ate for the day, and sometimes Corona beers on our streets. So we called the police. They came out several times. We've done this. It's a tag team with us, like I've said earlier. The last result is because the streets were so dirty, we called one time and we were able to get the streets cleaned. And it was past our time with the Public Works. So I wanted to take the time tonight to really give a shout out to Public Works, because several times after the street has been dirty, we've called and they've been able to circle back even past the time to make sure that they at least go back up our streets. So kudos to them because they didn't have to do it. So I really do appreciate that. But calling the police is just a quick fix. I'm asking that we possibly get some type of resolution where there are some things in place, where we probably get some signage, some reinforcements, you know, the fines. I know they're saying that they just too comfortable. If they're getting fines, it doesn't show it because they're doing the same thing every day. And we are in correspondence with the police department. But that cannot be continuously a solution. So that's all I got this evening. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am. Quelly Campbell.
Can you hear me? Quelly Campbell, Randolph Place, Orange, New Jersey. Good evening, City of Orange administrators, council members, fellow residents of Orange. I'm here today to talk about something fundamental to our city's strength, something that might seem uncomfortable, but is in fact essential: the power of dissent. In a community like ours, we pride ourselves on resilience, unity, and pride. But true pride and unity isn't the absence of disagreement. It's the ability to navigate it constructively. Dissent at its heart is simply the expression of different perspective, a challenge to the status quo, or a call for something new or a better way at doing things. It's the neighbor who sees a pothole you missed, who doesn't want blight, but who doesn't understand pilots. The community group that points out an inequity are residents who envision a new park, who wants an upgraded park to accommodate a growing and diverse community. Historically, progress has rarely come from unanimous agreement. It has often been sparked by those brave enough to voice an unpopular opinion, to question established norms, and to push for change. Think of the labor movements that secured fair wages and safe working conditions for our grandparents, or the civil rights struggle that fought for equality for our people. These were all born from powerful collective dissent. Here in Orange, New Jersey, when we embrace dissent, we are not undermining our community. We are strengthening it. When a resident speaks up about concerns, they are not being difficult. They are demonstrating their investment in our city's future. When diverse voices offer different solutions, they are not creating division. They are enriching our collective wisdom. So I urge you, our esteemed council, to not just tolerate dissent, but to actively solicit and genuinely listen to it. Create accessible avenues for residents to voice their concerns without fear. See disagreement not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity for deeper understanding and more robust solutions. The power of dissent lies in the ability to uncover hidden truths, to challenge assumptions, and to ultimately listen and lead to us to more of a just, equitable, and prosperous outcome for every single person who calls Orange, New Jersey their home. Let's harness that power together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Campbell.
So in a little bit of time that I have, 1 second left, I do need to question two things on the agenda, the 556 and 560 Scotland Road. I have questions of whether or not these are two homes that will be destroyed, and are we using our power of eminent domain in this particular situation? The other thing too is about the community benefits agreements that possibly may be tied to both 556 and 560 Scotland Road, and then the other, the Scotland Road and Beach Street property, whether or not we know what the amount is, and then what the plan is for the community benefits agreement tied to those two properties. And those questions are primarily targeted and directed to you, Jamie Summers Johnson, if you don't mind. Thanks.
You want to answer Johnson? Being Chris Hartwhite.
It's not eminent domain. They're selling the two houses. It's not eminent domain. 560 Scotland Road. The community benefit, that's for the council to decide what they would utilize the funds for. It's not.
Kayla Moses. Kayla Moses. Michael Jean Bapp. There is no T's on this paper.
Hi everyone. You guys are so happy. Hello.
Name and address, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna be here. I'm not gonna talk a lot, so my minutes will be going on.
Name and address, sir.
Okay. Michael Jean Baptiste, 368 Jackson Street, Orange, New Jersey. I want to ask you guys a question. Why you guys want to censure Councilwoman Quintivia Hilbert? And we have a whole council putting a gun on somebody, and you guys don't do anything about it. And also, we have Councilwoman Summer Johnson calling resident little girl. You guys don't do anything about it. So you guys know you guys cannot intimidate Councilwoman Quintivia Hilbert. You know the reason? She just beat you guys in court twice. My lawyer say I can talk about it. Last week, she beat you guys again. We have 4 lawyers in the city. Waste the taxpayer money. You guys can't even beat nobody in court. Every time something's set up in court, you guys lose. So right now, you guys go after Quintivia. Everybody go after Quintivia. So that's not fair. But I know she can handle that. And she have a good team lawyer, then whatever. But I'm not gonna talk on behalf of her, but I just want to know why. So the other question I want to ask you guys, why you guys want to fire police, firefighter, all the city employees? Why? What reason? Because we don't have any money? Every year, the tax keep going high. I have 2 Chihuahua house. Everybody know what Chihuahua, right? I have 2 Chihuahua house in Orange. So the tax is really high. And I have house in Mendon, you guys already know. I have a house in Wendorf, you guys already know. The house I have in Wendorf, big house. The Chihuahua house I have in Orange, that's double. So I'm not continuing to, I just want to ask why, because we don't have money. Last year, we have assembly come in, give $300,000 to the city. Where is those money? Maybe somebody lied? Where all this money? Everybody received those, right? $300,000. She worked for us. Where's the money? So where's the taxpayer money? So only one thing, let me see, because I want to see this one in order. the other thing, I'm gonna tell you guys, I wanna donate $500,000 to the city for you guys not fire nobody. The mayor can call me, and all the director can call me, so I will give the money. If you guys don't accept the money, I can give the money to every person you guys fire in the city of Orange, because I don't want you guys fire nobody. I still have minutes. I still have 2 minutes. So let me stop right there. So please, anybody can call me. My number is 973-573-3808. That's all I can say. And to the lawyer, Miserable on the back, I'm the one who have all the news people. All the news people. If you want to call Dr. J, call me. And I know Channel 7, Channel 12, just call me. I need to apologize. Okay. I'm going to apologize for Council President Adrian. I'm so sorry about the flyer I put last week. Since I put the flyer, when my wife found out, she mad at me until the day because I put the flyer. So I promise her I'm going to talk on the city council today and maybe next month, because I have a good news. I want to tell you guys, I'm so sorry about the flyer. I should not put it. Yes, but if you want to forgive me, do you want to forgive me? Can you give me a hug?
Come on.
Okay, so I'm sorry about it. I know you hate me, Haitian. So I'm sorry about it. And who I can apologize. And Council Kerry Collet, I'm so sorry, but I'm the one blow up the city with news when you put in a gun on somebody. I'm the one did it, but I'm so sorry, because I did it. It's not because I have a problem with you, because you tell people my father is a drug dealer. Then that's hurting me. And you came 2020 in my office. We give you so much money to run your campaign. And you came to my office. My wife keep give you money. And when you was running for mayor, I give you so much money. And I lose my job in the city of Orange because of you. And you tell people my father get killed because we are drug dealer. We're not a drug dealer. I work hard. Before I met my wife, I can't even pay my apartment. But hey, so when I get the news, I call my news people, I blow it up. So I'm so sorry. So you guys wanna, whatever you guys wanna do, you can do it. All right? Thank you, y'all.
Thank you. Anita Scott. Tracy Scott Curry. Councilman Harold Johnson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Council President Harold J. Johnson Jr., 235 Fuller Terrace. You actually called two names after Gene, and I thought I was going to be escaping following that act.
No.
But I guess I was destined to follow behind Gene. It's good to see everybody. This is officially my second meeting since I retired from the city council. And thought that our councilwoman in the West Ward and representing us throughout the last 3.5 years has done an excellent job. I came tonight because, we have a small town, 2.2 square miles. So when the drums beat, wherever you're at position in the town, you hear stories, innuendos, situations, and so forth. But I was glad I came to the council meeting tonight because I got clarity on some of the issues that I was hearing about. And I didn't want to formulate in my mind, but our local residents, when they spoke this evening, quite a few of them made it crystal clear to me with the statements that they made. That's the way I've been feeling, that my council representative literally has been have an anvil on her back when it comes to dealing with issues, trying to get our agenda going. And I was, hoping and praying that we would rise above all of the political fray and so forth. But everybody knows me. You know, all you council members, y'all know where I'm coming from with this. I don't know if I should bust into a prayer or what, man, but literally, I'm a little taken back by the situation that causes somebody to get censured in our little small town. We are brothers and sisters. We all should be working for us, the taxpayers, and moving the agenda forward, moving the challenges that the town has, moving that forward. I'm just hearing too many negative things about my brothers and sisters in this town that we're not handling our business. Too many personal things are getting in the way. But this, you know, I'm gonna be hopeful, I'm gonna be prayerful that we get past 2025. I know it's a big situation with always getting our tax situation taken care of. But literally, from my heart, this is from my heart, former council colleagues in administration. Let's put our best foot forward. Our residents, my neighbors, taxpayers, they literally said it tonight. I felt wholeheartedly their expressions of the way they feel. And we should be beyond that as a city council. We should be pouring into them. We shouldn't be starting at ground level all these years that we've been legislators. Literally, start listening to the people. God bless y'all. Take it easy.
Mayor Ortiz.
Good evening, Council. Council President.
Good evening.
Emmanuel Ortega, 152 Haven Avenue. Right. I will cut to the chase because I'm supposed to be out looking for a home. I am here to speak power to the name of Quantavia Hilbert. First of all, I don't know if we're in a church giving honor to God.
We're in a church.
All of our blessings, giving honor to God. Lead us in the right direction, Father God. I grew up in church. I am the son of missionaries. My grandparents are missionaries. I was taught grace and mercy from a very young age. From down here in Puerto Rico, hiking up the side of the mountain to go preach God's word. Good morning. God is good. God is good. Okay?
He is.
I'll tell you what else I'm gonna tell you what touched my spirit when I got here. Jamie Summers Johnson came to my door along with Adrian Wooten, the mayor. I don't know who else. Came to my home, welcomed us. We are here for you. Any problems, you let us know. We did. We tried to go the right route on having things addressed and these obstacles defeated. Unfortunately, I'm at a point where we literally just sold our home because it has become so unsafe to live in Orange, New Jersey. And I say that because when I spoke a few times at the city council meeting saying, there are children being used as pawns to come to my home to get us to come outside to fight. District leader, when you said that doesn't make any sense, when I called DIFAS, they said the same thing. They said we have no record of it, but they also said that everyone that was part of those meetings that said children was in danger were required to report it. So they should have had a report. That's number one. And I say that because the person that came on to speak, the citizen who, they're so just, it doesn't really matter who they are. We know who they are. When the AGM opened their investigation into Orange that I filed because we felt so unsafe, and we had the receipts to prove why. People literally passing out in our driveway drunk, and I'm told not to record, go back inside my house. Okay? That's the same citizen that came here. And when, I won't address anyone else other than yourself, Council President, out of respect. When a citizen was brought in to try to skew the record, the meeting that was called to get me to come in to the police station is the same people that were using the children, that was beating the girl on the corner that East Orange Police was already on the scene. But people were like, oh, you're racist, you're calling the police on black men. The police were there when I got there. Person, female, young teenager. When you were beat, the East Orange Police has a report, and I reported it. But I'm racist for that, right? The man that came onto the call to say he's entitled to do what he wants to do, you're not. As a gay, neurodivergent Latino, I can tell you this: it has been the most difficult part of adulthood living in Orange, New Jersey. The most. The bad. Council President, when you called to say, let's plant flowers for the seniors, I'm there. Darren Ferguson, Bishop Ferguson, myself, and Stacey Martin, sometimes we're the only ones unloading the trucks to feed the city. Ask Stacey Martin. We all love Stacey Martin, do we not? Stacey Martin has been a pillar for this community, as Bishop Ferguson was as well. I won't address anyone else other than yourself, out of respect. Myself and the elders on the block. Really, only reason why y'all seen me appear things is to defend the elders on the block. I'll always be the outcast. It doesn't make me no never mind. I have my family. I have my mama's good. The Lord is with me always. So what I say is I'm community minded, and I prove that 100% over and over, which is why we have law and order and ordinances on the books. Quantavia Hilbert has shown up at my home when I set that up and say, other than yourself that I apologize for what was going on, which is why respectfully I'm addressing you. Quantavia Hilbert and her husband showed up at my door. What's going on? Walked the perimeter, continuously coming to my home. How are y'all doing? Are you okay? Walked with us for the autism walks. Stood with us in the face of everyone else turning their back on her. You don't live here. She does. She lives here. For the record, she lives here.
Mr.
Okay?
Ortiz, your time.
And I thank you so much. And it was such a great pleasure to see you ascend to this position. And I thank you for your time.
All right, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Karen Wells.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening. I always talk loud. Karen Wells, 288 Highland Avenue, Orange, New Jersey. I moved here in 1987, Halloween night, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's just the way it worked out. But when I came to Orange, I didn't even know about Orange. I'm from Bergen County. Somebody said to me, well, you know, you can't afford $1 million in Bergen County, go to Essex County. I didn't even know where that was. But I came here and I saw my house. I fell in love with it. And I looked around and I said, wow, this place looks so historic. But nobody seemed to be paying attention. So I appointed myself the town historian. This is a lovely community. It's unbelievable. The history here is amazing. It's from the start of the American Revolution in this town. The people who live in Newport, Rhode Island, who started Rhode Island School of Design, who started Colgate-Palmolive, who started A&P, you know where they're from? They're from Orange. That's where they're from. And the history here is amazing. Our buildings are built by world-class architects. And I love Orange. I know everybody on this council. I've been to your house, whatever, you've been to my house. I'm embarrassed for us. I'm totally embarrassed for us that we would even have a council meeting where we're discussing censuring a city council person that's only trying to get the work done. And this is what really embarrasses me. When I look at the agenda, and I got parking on here and this on there, whatever, and pilots, I don't see anything for a community development agreement, which should be standard on every development. Don't see it. We have all these parking issues. Why don't we have a municipal parking garage? Why aren't we talking about that? Why aren't we talking about landscaping our main street? What about that? Why aren't we talking about getting businesses in Orange that people would go to? I live in Orange. And if I'm in Orange, I'm home. Because if I'm shopping, I'm not shopping in Orange.
there's no place for me to go. I want to go. The gentleman got up and talked about the arts district. We were building an arts district. It was thriving. And it got destroyed. Who does that? Farmer's market. I go to farmer's market every Wednesday. Where do I go to the farmer's market? In South Orange. Because 4 times in this town, I tried to get a farmer's market started. I contacted Jersey Fresh. I came out of my own pocket to get a farmer's market. Can't get one. And I'm here talking about nonsense, and I don't have any of those things for the taxes I'm paying? You gotta be kidding me. This is an embarrassment, a total embarrassment. And I feel bad for all of us because we're all in this together. This is not pointing the fingers at anybody. This is all of us. And if you go to other city council meetings in other towns, it's a whole different ballgame. It's a real council meeting. They're dealing with real issues. They're getting things accomplished. They're getting stores put in. Go to South Orange. Go to Millburn. Go to West Orange. That's where I go. All kind of new stuff coming there. Montclair. What are we doing? What are we doing, and who is thinking about this? And it's all of us together, not just the council, it's everybody. Because I said this a long time ago, and they put me out of the city council meeting, and you might put me out tonight too. But this is how I felt about it then, and this is how I felt about it now. You know what I hear in here? Us don't know nothing about birth and no babies, Miss Scarlett. That's how ignorant it is.
Motion to close citizens' comment?
Second, Ross.
Motion by Ms.
I'll be brief as always. Glad to see everybody out, expressing, your thoughts, your views, and your feelings. And, everything that sometimes that you see isn't what it appears to be. And, I'm just gonna leave it right there.
Councilman Montague.
Good evening, everyone. I want to talk about a few issues that, my constituents have been talking about. This is for Chris Hartwick. The Day Street, Alden Street sewer problem. Do we have any updates on that?
Did you hear?
We're having the engineers study it. It's a little bit more complicated than just a regular pooling of water because of its location.
Okay, so, because I've been talking about this for, at least a couple of years, and no
Yeah, there are a
progress.
lot of places in the town that require an evaluation before we spend a lot of money. And this is not a problem that's going to go away cheaply.
Okay. Also, I need an update on the parking authority. Are we gonna have it, or are we gonna do it in-house? I keep hearing conflicting, information regarding that.
I think we're gonna recommend that the matter be placed on the matters for discussion for the July or August meeting.
Can you repeat that?
He's gonna ask that it be put on the matters of discussion for the July or the August meeting.
Okay. Also, do we have any updates on the YMCA Recreation Center? Any movement on that?
It's in the same position as it was at the last meeting when you asked, which is that the documents are being negotiated between the developer and the city. We're waiting for a turnaround on the documents from the developer to the city.
Okay.
When we get those, we'll review them, and we'll probably have another pass at the documents before we can bring things to the council. I can't tell you at this point when that will be.
All right, and another issue. I've had a lot of residents, coming to me, complaining that they've been receiving tickets from code enforcement regarding garbage. I think that this is a recommendation I think they should take pictures when they give tickets. Because I have people saying they're not putting bags out, and I can almost verify a few of them. Do we take pictures before giving tickets?
Yeah.
You do? Yeah, they haven't. On a couple of cases, they haven't. So, now, I know we have terrible parking issues in the city of Orange. We have a lot of streets that currently have, parking permits. And we don't have any representative from the police department. Do we go out and check all the streets that we gave, parking permits? Do we check the streets on a regular basis? What?
So what do you mean check the streets? Like, are we?
Yeah, what's
you
the
talking
sense of
about
having?
tickets? Are
Yeah,
tickets being
tickets.
written? So that will come from the police department as well as the court.
Right. So can we make a note about that? Because we definitely have an issue.
She's gonna follow.
I think the streets that we have parking, we're permitting parking permits should be checked at 2:00 each morning. So we can issue, the tickets. And in these various lots. So that's about it. I'm gonna defer to my council colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Ross?
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to keep my remarks very brief, but they're very important. I am actively involved in the process of getting the FY 2025 budget adopted as soon as possible. It is now mid-June, and we still do not have a finalized budget. That is unacceptable. Our residents deserve better. They deserve stability, accountability, and timely governance. That said, I want to be very clear. Once this budget is adopted, we must shift our focus toward other critical priorities that directly impact the quality of life in our city and create sustainable sources of revenue. Specifically, I want to see real measurable progress, not more promises on the following: the long-awaited recreational center, the establishment and activation of a functional parking authority, meaningful redevelopment at the Highland Avenue train station, a thoughtful and community-centered plan for the former hospital site. Every council agenda seems to introduce yet another new development project. But here's my position. No more new development until we make real progress on these long outstanding projects that has been sitting for far too long. Our city cannot continue to expand outward while key community needs remain unmet. Let's be strategic, let's be responsible, and most of all, let's be united in doing the work to make this city stronger for everyone who calls it home. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome. Councilwoman Hilbert?
One moment. Okay. Good evening, Council President, Council colleagues, administration, residents, and those watching at home. I stand before you as the proud representative of the West Ward, and I will not be silent in the face of injustice. Resolution 305-2025, which seeks to approve the censure of Councilmember Quantavia Hilbert, is deeply flawed, biased, and a complete misrepresentation of the events that transpired that night. I reject this resolution outright and say that it is a political attack. I urge each of you, do not take my word for it. Go back and watch the video. See the truth for yourselves. See who was the instigator. I will never apologize for standing up for the residents of the West Ward or for the city of Orange. I will never apologize for defending the hardworking employees of this city. And just to be clear, on May 20th, I spoke with passion because the stakes are high. We still haven't passed the budget. The city hasn't produced any new streams of revenue. And our community is facing devastating layoffs. And that's supposed to take effect in about 13 days. And there's still no resolution. Families are about to lose their livelihoods, and everyone here should be outraged about that. I will not back down for calling out mismanagement in our city. I will not be intimidated into silence. And I call for more transparency and accountability because of these stakes and the very same issues that everyone here claims to fight against. What intensified my stance that night was an interruption during my speech. A speech that was in defense of our community and our employees. That moment only strengthened my resolve. We need honesty in our leadership. We need protection for our city workers. And above all, we need to stand together for the future of Orange. I will always fight for my community and my family. I have 2 young children that go to the school district. I have a business here, and I met my wonderful husband here. I love the history here and the people that I have called my friends and family members. I adopt most of you. But I will not apologize for doing what is right. And what is right is representing you in the best way I know how, and I'm doing it with heart, I'm doing it with grit, and I'm doing it with courage. And I take this role of being a leader very seriously, and I hope you all will continue to support me and know how much I love, and I thank each and every one of you for being there. Thank you.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson. Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Okay, just wanted to wait, be respectful. Okay, I heard everything that was said, and the good thing about these meetings are that you are able to come and voice your opinion. Also, in voicing your opinion, you have to understand that I'm going to disagree, you're going to disagree, but we're not going to go back and forth. It was an unfortunate incident. It's on YouTube. I have students, I have sons, I have family. It was a really bad time in council chambers, period. But moving on from that, I have lived here my whole life. I'm raising my children here. I'm a firefighter's wife. So when I woke up this morning and saw a flyer, another flyer, but this flyer had my picture on it and said that we were trying to fire police and firefighters. Yeah, so woke up to that. Council doesn't hire or fire police. I actually haven't heard one council person on this. I'm sorry.
Can we be quiet, please?
Okay. I haven't heard anyone up here, and I talk to them a lot, say that they want to fire anyone. So again, here's another flyer where the truth is not there. We want our city to be safe. We've talked about cannabis. We've talked about the parking authority and, you know, other streams of income. And yes, it takes things forever sometimes, but we ask about the why because I'm a Y brat. I grew up in the Y. I grew up in most of the Ys from all parts of New Jersey in the aquatics department. I want to spend money here. I do spend money here. I do shop on Main Street. I find many places to shop on Main Street. I buy uniforms because my kids wear uniforms. Main Street business is booming. I mean, as much as we talk about it, can hardly find a parking spot half the time, but I do understand that we need businesses for everyone. I'm not saying that Main Street doesn't need to be improved because what it looks like, I understand that. But Main Street is for everyone. So when we talk about Orange, it's for everyone. It's the haves sometimes, it's the have-nots, it's the
taxpayers, it's the renters, it's the seniors. I have all of that in my house. I have a senior in high school, I have a just finished college, I have a firefighter, I have a senior mother, I have a son in elementary school, I have it all. And my mother's a widow, so again, I see it all. But the fighting and bickering, I honestly don't have the energy for it. I wasn't raised that way, and it's not a good reflection for my kids who don't need to see Black women in that light. Because when we speak with passion, it always comes off as the angry Black woman. But in the words of Michelle Obama, I will, we'll just continue to go high because I understand, I heard everyone's passion. And, I didn't tell anybody to come today, because it wasn't for everyone to come. You're welcome to come to all of the meetings. And again, it may look like we're not listening, we're taking notes. We hear you. We don't always come back and say everything. And I think we've talked about that before. When you ask the questions, we get answers. We don't know if you actually received the answers, or we don't want to tell you something and then it not be true. I told people we were going to do their street because I was told that. Then we don't do their street. Now I look crazy. So now I don't even say I'm going to do the street until I have the paperwork. One thing I know is we're not going to make everyone happy and people will be upset. The goal is that we work together as a council and move this city forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Summers Johnson. Councilwoman Easton. Before I get into my comments, I just want to, again, welcome everyone to the North Ward. Thank you for coming tonight. I know it's been a lot of tension in the meeting, but we will continue to move forward. Aldine Street at North Day, the water that's standing there, it will cost over $300,000 plus to fix that right now, and we just don't have the funds. So our business administrator is looking for, I am staying on top of that. I call every day because I ride by that water every day. So we have got an estimate. We know what it's going to entail. I'm inclined to talk to the county about seeing if they can help us out with some funding, but we know that will take a while because this just happened. That's been like that for a long time. And our public works deputy can even give some more facts on what's happening over there, because we were talking about that this week, trying to see how we're going to get it fixed. Unfortunately, we can't do it right away because we know we're all in a budget crunch right now. And I just want to say, and I guess Councilwoman Jamie Summers touched on it a little bit. When we hear people talk about what's happening of the council meetings, we all know, I watch them on the channels, on YouTube. They have the same issues. Mount Clair, West Orange, Livingston, all have the same issues that we have. They're going through the same things. In fact, one husband went to West Orange to beat up a council person. So don't tell me that they are not having the same issues we're having. I've been in this town since 1993. And since I came here day one, I've been working to make this a better city. Even before I became a council person, I was on work with the Board of Education. I was on the committee that brought the STEM school to Orange. So we've done some great things. So don't sit here and act like nothing good has happened in this city, because good things are happening. We had 11 students to graduate with their associate's degree from Essex County College. We went to the STEM awards ceremony last night. That STEM school is doing a great job. It's in the top 10 in the United States. So we do have some great things happening, and our young people are picking up, they're moving on. They're not getting bogged down in all of the name calling or the bickering or the fighting. All they want is an education to do their jobs, to make this world and this city better. And to come here tonight to act like that we are not doing anything at all is not true. So, and I just want to say, things don't get accomplished or resolved in council. I mean, you got to have, what they said, boots on the ground and do your walking and making sure things are happening. Yes, we have some issues, but the North Ward is one of the best wards in the city of Orange. I hate to tell you guys that, but we are, because I've tried to keep the streets clean, and all the issues that people have talked about tonight has been addressed. We're addressing them on a daily basis, but Rome was not built in a day, and the things in this city will not happen overnight. It takes time, And then I woke up, I saw that flyer this morning, somebody sent it to me, but I didn't trip because I know who holds my future, and it's God Almighty. It didn't bother me. You can keep writing all of that nonsense. You can keep lying on those flyers. We all are advocates for the budget. We all are advocates to make sure we don't lay any people off. And I am the number one person, and the fire and police will tell you that is fighting to help them keep their job. So yes, we're doing some things. The community benefits is one of the reasons we passed all of those pilots, to use that money to offset the budget to help save jobs. I always say, I don't want to see anybody to have to walk the street, look for a job. We hired all these new police officers. We got some new firemen, and they came to us in good faith, and we want to keep them working. So we're not laying anybody off or firing anybody. So all of that rhetoric you see on those flyers, I'm hoping that the rest of the city is above all that. Because evidently some of you here tonight are feeding into that. But that's okay. Because like I say, my legacy is with God, and right now I'm trying to get to heaven. So I'm doing everything I can for my ward to work hard to make sure we get what we need. And like I said in one council meeting, sometimes I almost have to sell my firstborn to get anything for the North Ward. But I'm still fighting. But I'm going to fight with honor, with integrity. I'm not going to get into the name calling. I'm not going to get into the mud. I'm not going to put people's private business out there and make it look like they're doing something wrong when we know for a fact they really aren't. But people like to feed into that. Oh, this one is doing that. And we listen to the people, the wrong people, whose houses are not clean themselves. And I could quote some things that can tell you why their houses are not clean. But we listen to that because that's what we feed on. Let's start feeding on some positive things. Look what's happening into the city, in this city positively. And if it's not going the way you want, then come out and help do something. Don't just talk about it. Help do something. Get involved. Volunteer how we can make things better. Because we've got to be better than that. And we're not Republicans. I'm a Democrat, will be one the rest of my life. And still fight for the things that I believe in. But I fight for the things I believe in and things I believe for this city. So whatever you think, Ms. Valori, it doesn't really matter because Jesus holds the reins to everything. And whatever he wants, that's what's going to happen. I want to say we have graduations coming up. So I hope we're going to support our students. And everybody always talk about being respectful. I'm speaking, and you're laughing. That's disrespectful. You're talking. That's disrespectful. So you want to clean the house, look in the mirror. So let's move forward and make this a better city. And I will continue to fight and believe in what I believe in for justice for my ward. And thank you all for listening.
So I beg to differ with Councilwoman Easton. I'm representing the mighty East Ward, which is the best ward in the city of Orange Township. What I would like to say, thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight. I always thank you for your comments. But while you're making your comments and you're defending people, you need to be defending people because they're human and because they're women. There was a campaign that went on in 2020 when women and children were assaulted. And I didn't see a percentage of you coming to the council meetings, talking about those flyers that you received in the mail, in the email.
2020.
Putting these people's, 2024, okay. Putting these people's business and not their business, just making rhetoric of them. So if you are so interested and so concerned about things that go on in this council, and you weren't a bit concerned,
Wyatt.
what is going on? It's you know what, Attorney Montel, it's people. It's people. Like my mom would beat the crap out of me, whether I wanted to hear people or not speaking. So it's people. And that's where we are in America today. Let's be rude. Let's be nasty. Let's be unprofessional. We have been called everything but children of God. Everything. I got a text this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. My face on the text again. I told you last time, don't use that picture. If you want a picture of me, you want another picture of me, send me a text and I'll give you an updated picture of me. But see, none of you were fighting for that. None of you were fighting for when children's parents were being put on a flyer and their heads were being put on a body. No one fought for that. And you're still talking. Mr. Murphy, Ms. Rodriguez, it's okay. I totally understand it. I can see you. I totally understand it. Because you know what? Nobody came and defended these women. Nobody did. But then you come in here and say, I defend women. You really don't. Because if you did, you would have defended these women and these children. But you didn't. So let's not talk about personal feelings, because obviously that was personal. We had 4 women who were attacked. 4 women who were attacked with children that were attacked during a campaign consistently. And I didn't see a big percentage of people coming in here taking up for these women. I didn't see anybody saying, I'm sorry for these women. I'm sorry for the children. Nobody. But we have a council member that gets up, approaches another council member, grabs her microphone, and it's okay. It's all right. But we have parents, women with children who had to explain the crap that was put out during those campaigns. And you sitting there, some of you acting like you don't know what I'm talking. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. And it's okay. It's okay because it was all on Orange Real Talk. Got copies of all of you when you were high-fiving it. We got all of that. So don't sit there and say, I don't know what you're talking about. So if you're going to come up here and talk about how we should be treating women and I stand up for women, like let's stand up for all women. All women. Because we all have mothers. Most of us have sisters. We have girlfriends. And it doesn't matter if you're red, black, yellow, or green. And the sad part is, women, we have to stick together. And we didn't stick together during that campaign. We did not. And it was horrible. Absolutely horrible. So when I think about Lucy Stone, I think about Barbara Jordan, I think about Ann Richards, I think about my favorite Fannie Lou Hamer. They would be outraged at the way we just discarded 4 women whose families were literally drugged through the mud. So we might be ashamed, it might be on us, but it's on some of you too. Thank you.
Ordinance on second reading, 20-2025, an ordinance of the municipal council of the city of Orange Township to approve a tax
You gotta
exemption.
speak up. You gotta speak up.
2025, an ordinance of the municipal council of the city of Orange Township to approve a tax exemption for 22-year period and authorizing execution of a financial agreement for payment in lieu of taxes between the city and 27 DSTL Urban Renewal LLC. This was postponed on May 20th, 2025.
I still can't hear her. I still can't hear her.
Are there any citizens who wish to speak?
Can you turn your mic up?
Councilwoman Sanders Jones.
This one?
Yeah, I can't hear it. I must be losing.
Are there any citizens who wish to speak?
I can't hear you either.
If it's on second reading, we voted.
You will make it in the name and address.
Yes, please. Thank you.
1, 2, very good.
41304, sir.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
We'll go to it.
don't do it.
Don't forget your address. Not insurance. Change your address. Okay, this is not insurance, sir. Make this a joke. Keep this time close.
Come on, please. Let's, yes, come on, let's get through this meeting. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. Not every meeting, come on.
5 minutes. It's in the code.
So, it was once said by Aisha that maybe if people can't afford to do a particular project, maybe they should get a tax break, right? So, you guys are gonna pass it anyway. I was gonna talk about the same thing I spoke with earlier about the resolution that Roosevelt Park was gonna pass. Can you guys draft the resolution or even copy and paste theirs, so this way we can get some guaranteed immediate benefit from developers who choose to come into the Township of Orange, and we can see some immediate benefit for when you come into the town and actually freaking tax abatements, right? And I got a little story for you guys. You know how someone, when you were younger, was with your parents or elders, they were talking and you intervened in their conversation and say, hey, go back to the case, right? I was with a friend. We're talking about tax abatements. His son comes over, has no idea what tax abatements is. So we asked him his tax abatements. So I explained it to him. Hey, it's when an individual comes into somewhere, they're going to spend a lot of money, so they ask for a tax break so they can get a profit. He looks at his dad and say, hey, Dad, didn't you do that with the house? His father actually, what do you mean? He said, well, didn't we buy this house? He said, yeah. He said, what tax abatement do we get? I looked at this young man and said, freaking genius. We always talk about how the developers come into the town as a means to make the town better, as a means as them investing in the township. That's what we were calling it because that's what's said multiple times. What is it when a homeowner buys a home in Orange? Are they not committed to an investment to the town? We throw a good question because the answer is yes. How about you guys do a resolution? Because you guys will write resolution pretty quick. How about we do a resolution where perhaps a new home buyer can get a 3-year tax abatement? It shouldn't be just for the developers. That's not fair. They're paying taxes on just the land. That's not fair. Once again, there's no immediate benefit to the residents. I know you guys are gonna say, yes, there is. I've been asking since I came back. I came back August 2024. Whatever happened prior to that, I had no idea. People being attacked on the campaign, he got nothing to do with me. I wasn't here. So I couldn't speak for him. All right? I've been with the Essex County Sheriff Office assigned to domestic violence. I care. Most of the domestic violence victims are females. So I definitely care about females. Right? So I'm just gonna simply ask, can we do a resolution similar to Roosevelt Park to ensure that the community gets an immediate benefit from a developer? Can we do a resolution where it's a whole card, not 0.8 of a card? Y'all can write them. I'll just prove to the town. Y'all can write them in 30 days. If you need help writing them, I know where we can get a lot of it from. Copy and paste. I'll send it to you guys. Right? And you know how usually, who's a teacher here? Summer Johnson's a teacher, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
If you speak to a student and you tell a student, hey, you're doing this and this is incorrect, and they do it again, would you say that as a sign of disrespect? Just out of curiosity.
No.
You want to see that as a sign of disrespect?
No.
You ask them, hey, don't do that, and they still continue to do it?
It depends on the child.
Depends
Next
on the
question. Depends. I teach in the city.
Right? Earlier I mentioned how the town attorney, it seems like he has no interest up here. Every time someone comes up to speak, share their thoughts, first thing he does is grab his telephone. Where I'm from, that's the sign of disrespect.
Excuse me, Mr. Gibbs. You should really be speaking about the ordinance. That's what this
I'm done.
portion. All right, thank you. Thank you. I understand, but thank you.
Are there any other citizens who wish to speak? Motion to close citizen comments? Motion to close citizen comments by Councilmember Coley, second by Councilmember Easton. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adopt?
Oh, move.
Second, Ross.
Motion to adopt by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Ross. On the motion?
Councilman Easton.
I used to use a couple of council like the history of community board, so can we just let them know that for each pound we pass, there is a community benefit component to that already, we've already done that, so we don't need to pass an ordinance because it's already been processed.
Just do it. Thank you. No.
You said you were president, we talked yesterday. Okay.
Council President.
Councilwoman Hilbert.
So to piggyback off of that, what he's saying is an immediate benefit, not just monetary, where the council or the administration gets to dictate what happens with that funding. So if you look at CBAs in other communities, hence maybe New York or Queens, where I was a part of a community outreach or a community program where the residents got to propose projects on how they wanted to spend their CBA money. We're not including the residents, but yet we're imposing these additional buildings and increasing our population, and it's changing the quality of life for a lot of the homeowners and renters. Because not everybody has a parking lot, not everybody has a driveway. You know, we're not gonna talk about the schools because the school impact is something different that comes with this. But if we're talking about the CBA immediate, we could create a list of options for every developer, okay? You wanna give us 200,000, okay, give us 200,000, and then add some benching on Central Avenue. Or you could pay for a new basketball, hoop or something like that, equipment in our park, something that the people could see and use immediately. That is what is being requested of us by our constituents. So there's ways that we can explore that. Pretty sure you guys don't want to have the conversation with me, but just to add a little context, that is what he's speaking to. He's not saying that we're not doing anything. He's just saying there's other ways we can be creative with our demands or our asks when we are negotiating our CBAs. That is it.
Madam Clerk. Thank you, ma'am.
Roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Easton?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert?
I'm sorry, I got confused. What ordinance is this?
2025?
2025?
Yes.
Okay, no.
Councilmember Montague the third?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten?
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 nay, motion passed. 21-2025, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 200, entitled Vehicle and Traffic, Section 200-52-1, Handicap Parking Spaces, 294 North Center Street. Are there any citizens who wish to speak? Motion to close citizen
Motion to
comments?
close citizen comments.
Second? Motion to close citizen comments by Councilmember Easton, second by Councilmember Coley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adopt? Second?
Easton.
Motion to adopt by Councilmember Coley, second by Councilmember Easton. On the motion?
Council President, on the motion.
Councilman Ross.
I was just looking through this, and again, this is one that has a driveway, but I don't see anything from the homeowners saying why they cannot park in the driveway.
You want to postpone this?
Council President, from the last meeting when it was on first reading, all of that was addressed.
Because you're in the middle of
The motion.
the motion, the only motion that you can do is a motion to table.
That was addressed when we did the first reading.
No, I make a motion to table.
Motion to table by Councilmember Ross. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Councilmember Summers Johnson on that motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Eason,
No.
Councilmember Hilbert,
No.
Councilmember Montague the third,
No.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Where's the
Yes,
table?
this is
It's
to
to
table
table
it. Right.
Oh, to table?
Yes.
Take it. She wanted to take it back. She wanted to take hers back.
Sorry, Madam Clerk.
Council-
Lord, Councilwoman Hilbert, yes.
Freezing in here.
Don't we need to rescind?
No.
We don't?
They're
Okay.
still open.
Okay. We were on Ross, we're on me now?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your,
He said yes.
I said
you said
yes.
yes, okay. And then
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson. That's 4 yeas.
Did you? This is.
You didn't ask me.
This
Oh.
Yes.
I was trying to figure out where the second person was. So that's 5 yeas, 2 nays, the motion passed. Yeah. 30-2025,
Table, right?
yes.
Yes.
Good, good. Just a point of order, could somebody keep good notes on why we tabled that from the clerk's office, so we will know why we tabled it when we get to the next time that we bring it up? But I think that's what's been missing, but when we call, nobody knows why it was tabled in the first place. So we need to start keeping good notes on when we table something, so we'll know why it was tabled.
And Council President, if I,
Councilman Ross.
I thought we talked about, having a checklist as to what we need to, approve these, handicap things. And I don't see the checklist anywhere, on some of these things. And that's why we're having these issues, because it's not checked off as to we have this, and we have that.
Something was on there. Something was. And B.A. Hardwick, I think we spoke to that, and you were to speak to Director Mays about that. Is that the?
They did. I'll speak to him again.
Council President, could he add to that checklist? Because they did have a miniature one.
But they need to
If they have a driveway, the checklist should include the reason why they can't use the driveway, so we don't have to go through this with every request. That it should state the reason why they can't use the driveway. That should be part of the investigative process.
Correct.
B.A. Hardwick, you got that? Council
Thank
President,
you.
the checklist is only missing that. Okay.
So we tabled it, you were done. Yeah. 30-2025, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 200-45, entitled Vehicle and Traffic, Section 13, Bus Stop. Motion to adopt on first.
Move. Second, Summers Johnson.
Motion to adopt on first by Council.
Point of order.
Councilwoman Easton. We gotta do it.
This is on second reading.
Public. Oh, okay. Are there any citizens who wish to speak on this?
Motion to close citizen comments.
Second, Coley.
Motion to close citizen comments by Councilmember Eason, second by Councilmember Coley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adopt on first.
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Motion to adopt on second. Councilmember Ross, second.
Montague, second.
Councilmember Montague, the third. On the motion, Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Eason,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
and Council President Wooten.
Yes.
The motion passed. 31-2025, an ordinance to amend the code of the city of Orange Township, chapter 200, entitled Vehicle and Traffic, section 200-52-1, handicap parking spaces, 470 Austin Place. There any citizens who wish to speak? Motion to
To close citizen comments?
Second, Ross.
Motion to close citizen comments by Councilmember Eason, second by Councilmember Ross. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adopt.
Move Wooten.
Second.
Second, Coley.
Motion to adopt by Councilmember, no, on the motion?
Councilwoman Eason?
No, I think we got what we needed on that one. But there was a question on it earlier. But we got we have everything on that one, right?
No, no problem with this, as far as I see.
So we should have said motion to table it.
There's no problem.
There's
with
no
this.
problem.
Yeah, oh, no problem, that's what I thought. No problem with that one.
East Ward.
Roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Eason,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
Motion passed. Ordinance introduction, first reading. 32-2025 is going to remain postponed
To the first meeting.
to the first meeting in July. 33-2025, an ordinance to amend the code of the city of Orange Township, chapter 200, entitled Vehicle and Traffic, section 200-52-1, handicap parking spaces, 476 Waverly Place. This ordinance was postponed on July 4th, 2025. Is there a motion?
Motion to remain postponed?
Motion to remain postponed by Councilmember Eason. Is there a second?
Second, Wooten.
On the motion?
On a motion. Why is it being postponed?
I think it was something with the
There
paper.
was a requirement on it that wasn't met.
Yeah.
And we sent this one back to Martin Mays.
Right.
Okay, so Director Mays is responsible for getting, okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Move.
Roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Eason,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
and Council President Wooten.
Yes.
This item will be postponed to the July 1st meeting. 37-2025, an ordinance to amend the code of the city of Orange Township, chapter 200, entitled Vehicle and Traffic, section 200-52-1, handicap parking spaces, 477 Hillside Avenue. Is there a motion?
It needs to be postponed as well, because we need a letter from the resident stating why he or she can't use the driveway.
Correct.
Okay, are you making,
Just the homeowner. Was it a homeowner that was supposed to explain?
They're ready.
Motion to postpone?
motion to postpone by Councilmember Eason, second?
Second, Ross.
Second by Councilmember Ross. On the motion?
On the motion, this is also Commissioner Engineer's report. I think,
Big hard white, this is another one from Director Mays.
I think we got.
Yeah, I made a note.
Roll call on the motion to postpone. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Eason,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
This item will be postponed to the July 1st meeting. 38-2025, a bond ordinance.
Point of order, Council President, sorry. Can I ask a quick question? As we move through these, handicap parking, is it possible, since our law department signs off on the legislation, is it possible that we put an extra step in there that they look for the things that also we're asking, so that it comes before us, we can move them forward quickly? That you not sign off for them if everything is not added? I think that would help us tremendously. Okay, thank you.
38-2025, a bond ordinance providing for the issuance of redevelopment area bonds to finance infrastructure improvements to a redevelopment project located at 328 Main Street and 12-20 South Essex Avenue in the city of Orange Township in the county of Essex, state of New Jersey, the city, appropriating $150,000 therefore and authorizing the issuance of 150,000 bonds or notes of the city to finance the cost thereof. Is there a motion?
Move Wooten.
Second, Ross.
Motion by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Ross on the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley.
Yes.
Councilmember Eason.
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
Motion passed. A bond ordinance providing for the issuance of redevelopment area bonds to refinance infrastructure improvement to a redevelopment project located at 26 Tony Galento Plaza and 23 South Essex Avenue in the city of Orange Township in the county of Essex, state of New Jersey, the city, appropriating $150,000 therefore and authorizing the issuance of 150,000 bonds or notes of the city to finance the cost thereof. Is there a motion?
Move Wooten.
Second.
Ross.
Motion by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Ross on the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley.
Yes.
Councilmember Eason.
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
Motion passed. 40-2025, a bond ordinance providing for the issuance of redevelopment area bonds to finance infrastructure improvements to a redevelopment project located at 566-568 Morrill Street and 507-515 South Jefferson Street in the city of Orange Township in the county of Essex, the state of New Jersey, the city, appropriating $150,000 therefore and authorizing the issuance of $150,000 bonds or notes of the city to finance the cost thereof. Is there a motion?
Move Wooten.
Second.
Second, Eason.
Motion by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Eason on the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley.
Yes.
Councilmember Eason.
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third.
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
Motion passed. 41-2025, bond ordinance providing for the issuance of redevelopment area bonds to finance infrastructure improvements to a redevelopment project located at 512-522 Scotland Road in the city of Orange Township in the county of Essex, the state of New Jersey, the city appropriating $150,000 therefore and authorizing the issuance of 150,000 bonds or notes of the city to finance the cost thereof. Is there a motion?
Motion, Ross.
Second, Eason.
Motion by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilmember Eason on the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley.
Yes.
Councilmember Eason.
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
Motion passed. Bond ordinance providing for the issuance of redevelopment area bonds to refinance infrastructure improvements to a redevelopment project located at 611-617 Scotland Road and 517-519 Beach Street in the city of Orange Township in the county of Essex, state of New Jersey. The city appropriating $150,000 therefore and authorizing the issuance of 150,000 bonds or notes of the city to finance the cost thereof. There a motion?
Motion, Ross.
Motion by Councilmember Ross, second.
Second, Wooten.
Second by Councilmember Wooten on the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Eason,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
Motion passed. 43-2025, a bond ordinance providing for the issuance of redevelopment area bonds to finance infrastructure improvements to a redevelopment project located at 556-560 Scotland Road in the city of Orange Township, the county of Essex, state of New Jersey. The city appropriating $150,000 therefore and authorizing the issuance of 150,000 bonds or notes of the city to finance the cost thereof. Is there a motion?
Motion, Ross.
Second, Montague.
Motion by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilmember Montague the third. On the motion, seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Eason,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
The motion passed. The final reading will be August. The meeting, I don't even know the meeting,
Did y'all do 44?
August the 4th.
No, 44.
Let me see.
Right. No, she was reading the final adoption date. It's the
Well,
sixth.
August the 6th is for 44 too, so I thought she got them all
I was
together.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got her 244.
Okay.
Because they're all final adoption is August the 6th.
Okay. 44-2025, an ordinance amending chapter 4, article 2, section 4-10B, 16, and section 4-10G of the municipal code to shorten the time allocated for public comments from 5 minutes to 3 minutes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Second, Wooten.
Motion to adopt by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilmember Wooten. On the motion, seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Eason,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
No.
Councilmember Montague the third,
No.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
That's 5 yeas, 2 nays. The motion passed.
Council President,
Councilman Ross.
can we take a 2-minute recess? I have to go to the
Okay.
boys' room.
Can we take a 2-minute recess?
This should not be all
Whole city
August
comes up.
I didn't do anything.
The whole city.
Yeah.
Pee on myself.
It's on the fourth.
Oh, never mind.
Always.
What exit stage left? Said you know what exit stage left? Oh, thank you.
Oh my God. I don't, they make you do it. Oh, shoot. They make sure she had the right agenda. I wouldn't have let. Right, that's right, they say that all morning, I was calling you because it was supposed to be very hot. So they could at least make sure she had the right one. Huh? Oh, they need to verify. No, she didn't say the August when they were. Just say the date. Yeah, she should have did that before she let them break.
No.
That's what they don't speak for people with all that. They came here with all that.
This one, that one?
Which one? Oh, yeah, that's right. They had all those people here. Because she's making it look here, so she can. It's a hot one. That's all that is. Well, look at that. Look at that.
You know what bites?
And the girl Osborne, that's my favorite bullet. They want to get people that live that was sitting at really? Yeah.
Their eighth grade trip was from 8 p.m.
Yeah, the one that stood up and said, they were and said, oh, she was talking about clean, we just didn't have dirty. Oh, it's a really?
I'm so proud of them.
What? Who they took? They leave. They took your son? No. She's like, I'm mad at the world. I'm like,
The senior night was
and Michael clapping his hand for everything.
we had to go back and do this morning and make it to why? We was all out there like it was 6 o'clock in the afternoon, all the parents waiting for these kids, 25 kids.
I know you were tired, so.
She had such a good time. Because these cars are not fun class cars. These are like real cars. She had to be where I because these are like, they just. Edison, yeah, that's the. Good evening, how are you?
This friend was real hard.
Yeah.
Exactly. We go to your church of all of this evil stuff.
Okay, we're ready to reconvene.
Okay, it's time to reconvene. Time to reconvene.
And Council Vice President. Yeah, let's go.
So we are now reconvening at 9:44 p.m. So for the ordinances that were just previously passed, the final reading will be August 6, 2025. Consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence of the agenda. Council members, are there any items?
Council President,
Councilman Ross.
289. 294, 296.
Anyone else?
Council President?
Councilwoman Hilbert? Yeah, 300. We got it. Yeah. Councilwoman Hilbert?
302-2025. I'm sorry, I misspoke. 305-2025. 302 is fine. That's for the UEZ. Please keep that.
So it was 305, 294, 296, and 289.
So it was 289, 294, 296, and 305, right?
Yes.
And 300 is being pulled by the administration. Oh, I'm sorry. Got it.
The consent agenda consists of 290, 291, 292, 293, 295, 297, 298, 299, 301, 302, 303, 304, and 306. A motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Easton, second.
Montague.
Second by Councilmember Montague the third. On the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Easton,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
The consent agenda pass. 289-2025, a resolution approving checks issued by the Finance Department in accordance with Ordinance 2-95, grand total 19,301,800.58. Is there a motion?
Yeah, on the motion?
Wait, motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Need a second. She needs a second. I motioned it.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Easton, second by Councilmember Ross. On the motion,
On the motion, and this is to the CFO, I just need to get the amount of what's been paid to date in overtime to the police department.
$690,212.06.
And are you able to tell me what they're budgeted for?
700,000.
Thank you.
roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Easton,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
The motion passed. 294-2025, a resolution authorizing the awarding of a contract to Tree King, Inc., 12 Linnell Road, Landing, New Jersey, 07850, through the Morris County Cooperative Pricing Council. Contract number 18 to provide tree removal trimming services commencing April 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, in an amount not to exceed $15,000. Is there a motion?
Second, Summers Johnson?
Motion by Councilmember Coley, second by Councilmember Summers Johnson. On the motion,
On the motion, this is to, DPW Director, right? Is it the responsibility of DPA to trim the trees back and cut them down? Do you guys do that? Huh?
Yes, we do that.
That's how it's marketed.
So why do we have this, contract on here?
And I have to get back to you on that, but I believe that's under the tree program that one, the grant money that we got.
And that, is that, we need to know.
So if I can get back to you on that, I'm not sure.
So we might have to take, what was it, $50,000?
Anyone else on the motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Eason,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
No.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
and Council President Wooten.
No.
No. So that's 5 yeas, 2 nays, motion passed. 296-2025, a resolution authorizing the purchase/install decorative lights from PSE&G, PO Box 1444, New Brunswick, New Jersey 08908, from the NJDOT 22 Orange Transit Station Underpass Railroad Place improvement in an amount not to exceed $46,440.42. Is there a motion?
Move.
Second, Ross.
Motion by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Ross. On the motion,
On the motion,
On.
please, somebody give me an explanation why we're paying $46,000 for decorative lights. And what are decorative lights and where are they going?
Is Administrator Ordinance
Has to be a.
He's muted.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, he's muted. He muted himself. Period. Big hot white is two.
So I suggest that we hold this, and I'll get back to you with the answers to those questions.
can I get a motion to postpone?
Motion to postpone.
Second, Montague.
Motion to postpone by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilmember Montague the third. On that motion, seeing a roll call, Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Eason,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
and Council President Wooten.
Yes.
This item is postponed. 300,
I just wanted to tell Councilman Ross, I will get back to you, but I just want to point out two things that I'm aware of. One is that this is part of the railroad underpass project, which is a grant project. And it's the replacement of the lights in the underpass that everyone's been after us to do for the last couple of years. But I'll find out exactly what nature of decorative lights it is.
Thank you.
300-2025, a resolution authorizing a contract to Traffic and Parking Control Company, TAPCO, LLC, 5100 West Brown Deer Road, WI 53223, to purchase parking meters, parts, materials, supplies, and providing parking management services under the National Cooperative Purchasing Alliance, NCPA, Omnia, in the amount not to exceed $229,241.88. Is there a motion?
So this is the one that has to be amended on the record.
Okay.
Oh, he's withdrawing that, right?
I'm sorry, we voted to amend it on the record.
So can somebody state the amendments?
Chris.
I'll do it.
So,
In the title, in the third line, strike the word meters and put in the word stations. In the third whereas clause, in the second line, after the word parking, strike the word meters and put in stations. In the now therefore be it resolved paragraph, in the second line where it says IPS group, cross that out and put in TAPCO. That's it.
Is there a motion to adopt as amended?
Motion Coley.
Second?
Second Ross.
Motion to adopt as amended by Councilmember Coley, second by Councilmember Ross. On the motion, seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Council President Eason?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Councilmember Eason.
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten?
Yes.
Motion passed. There's no walk-ons. Is there a motion?
Still have one.
305? I see.
There you go.
305-2025, a resolution censuring Orange Municipal Council Member Octavia Hilbert for unacceptable conduct during the May 20th Municipal Orange Council meeting. Is there a motion?
Move.
Second?
Second Ross.
Motion by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Ross. On the motion,
On the motion.
Councilwoman Gilbert.
In the Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised, page 26, obtaining and assigning the floor. Citation 330. Before a member in any assembly can make a motion or speak in debate, the parliamentary name given to any form of discussion of the merits of a motion, he or she must obtain the floor. That is, he must be recognized by the chair, in which our council president, as having the exclusive right to be heard at that time. The chair must recognize any member who seeks the floor while entitled to it. To claim the floor, a member rises at his or her place when no one else has the floor. Again, when no one else has the floor, faces the chair and says, okay, are we gonna keep huffing and puffing while I'm reading? Because that's disrespectful as well.
Wait, who are you talking to?
No, I'm hearing huffing and puffing while I'm reading.
So maybe it's them, but it's not us. She was laughing while I was talking.
No, I wasn't laughing at you. I was having a conversation there. So you're interrupting me. You're interrupting me. You're interrupting me. Like I was saying, you guys are biased and you know it. To claim the floor, a member rises at his or her place when no one else has the floor, or goes to a microphone in a large hall, faces the chair and says, Mr. President, or Mr. Chairman, or Madam Chairman, or whatever the chair's proper title. If the member is entitled to the floor at the time, the chair recognizes him, normally by announcing as applicable the person's name or title or the place or unit that he represents. This member then has the floor and can remain standing and speak in debate or make a motion as permitted under the rules in this book, depending on the parliamentary situation at that time. If only one person is seeking the floor in a small meeting where all present know and can clearly see one another, the chair can recognize the member merely by nodding to them. On the other hand, if a speech is prearranged or if several members are attempting to claim the floor at once in a large meeting, presiding officers.
Point of order, Councilwoman.
One moment, I have
No,
one sentence.
no, I have an emergency. Point of order.
What's the emergency?
Ray.
You sure? All right. The chair recognizes Mr. Smith when the names of the members are not generally known. A person addressing the chair to claim the floor states his name and any necessary identification assumed. So with saying that, there have been multiple times where I may have had the floor or I posed a question, and that day on May 20th, I was posing a question as I was wrapping up my conversation. And I did not yield my time, I did not yield the floor, and the council person who interrupted me was neither acknowledged, nor were they assigned, nor did they obtain the floor the appropriate way. So again, you want to mention things that happened a year ago, that just shows biases, and we're not speaking to this current situation. The current situation is that constantly, this body is playing favoritism, and we're not holding everybody to the same standards. So if somebody's interrupting another council member, or if somebody is going back and forth with the residents, that is inappropriate and is misconduct as well. So again, this resolution is misleading. It also says something about police had to put order to this meeting, when also the police were called under false pretenses. It was a report that there was an assault, and that was inaccurate. And when the police arrived, they were being forced to make a report when there was actually nothing that actually happened. So again, I believe that because there was nothing illegal that happened, and because I spoke into a mic to make sure that what I said was on record, because I know how individuals like to twist and turn things. Again, this is this is unfair, it's biased, and I do not appreciate it when you guys have overlooked countless of times that you guys have argued in the last 3.5 years I've been on this council, and neither have you ever done that to each other. So I yield the rest of my time.
Yeah. Roll call. Councilmember Eason?
You skipped Coley.
Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert?
No.
Councilmember Montague III?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
And Council President Wu.
Yeah.
That's 6 yeas, 1 nay, motion passed. 306-2025, a resolution reappointing Michael Hackett as judge.
We didn't pull that. That one was.
That was
Oh, okay.
You have a walker, 307. You got the walker? I don't know.
Councilman Eason, can we?
You have the walker?
Here.
Thank you.
Oh. 307-2025, WL. A resolution authorizing approval to submit a grant application and execute a grant agreement with New Jersey Department of Transportation for the City of Orange Township, Long Ridge Road, South Street, Elmwood Drive, Henry Street, South Center Street, Haywood Avenue, Oakwood Avenue, Thomas Street, Reynolds Terrace, and Mechanic Street improvement.
Reynolds Street.
That's Reynolds.
Reynolds?
Reynolds
Reynolds
Street.
Street. Street.
Yeah, there's two of them.
Is there a motion to walk on?
Motion to walk on Summers Johnson.
Motion to walk on, by Councilmember Summers Johnson, second by Councilmember Montague the third.
On the motion? Seeing none. Anybody want to speak on it? Any citizens want to speak?
We got walk.
Yeah, we, okay. Roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yeah.
Councilmember Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten?
Yes.
Okay, this item is now walked onto the agenda. Resolution 307-2025 WO, a resolution authorizing the approval to submit a grant application, execute a grant agreement with New Jersey Department of Transportation for the City of Orange Township, Long Ridge Road, South Street, Elmwood Drive, Henry Street, South Center Street, Haywood Avenue, Oakwood Avenue, Thomas Street, Reynolds Street, and Mechanic Street improvements. Is there a motion?
Motion, Eason?
Second, Hilbert.
Motion by Councilmember Eason, second by Councilmember Hilbert. On the motion?
Council President, I just want to say I'm happy to see one North Fourth Street. She always comes. One. South is on.
Roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten?
Yeah.
Motion passed. Is there any new business? Motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilmember Montague the third. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned at 10:08 PM.